Hello, everyone, and peace of Christ to all of you. Please invite your friends and share the link with whoever you have. Today, our topic is about uh, did Jesus turn water into wine? And this is a question was asked supposedly to Shabir Ali. Now, Shabir Ali, I think he make questions and he answer himself. Always you will see a paper in the hand of the girl she appear with him, which suppose she is his daughter. And his daughter, she read the question for him. And the question this time that Jesus, he turned people away from the temple because they were buying and selling. And the other question, it was about did Jesus turn water into wine? Now with Shabir Ali, as usual, he answered without answering anything. He said properly, yeah, Jesus, he did many miracles, but it might be problematic for some Muslims. And here you see like how Shabir Ali always he avoid answering, by I mean saying what is the answer? The guy he asked you, the Muslim guy supposedly, and this is a question you wrote by your hand to yourself. So he asked you, okay, what happened? Do you agree with it, or you don't agree with it? Shabir Ali, as usual, he did not say yes, he did not say no. It can be accepted for some Muslims, it can be not accepted for some Muslims. So what is the answer? Nothing. And today I'm taking advantage of this topic here to explain what is the miracle about turning the water into wine. Many people, when they read the Bible, speaking about Jesus turning the water into wine. They don't understand that this is not just about turning water into wine. This is way more. And you see, Shabir Ali, he say this is not mentioned in the Quran, but it's possible Jesus, he did a lot of miracles. So even Muslims, even with their cult teaching, they could not deny the power of Jesus the Christ, and that's everything is possible with Jesus. Everything is possible. I mean, why you will be surprised if you hear Jesus turning water into wine, when Jesus, he turned the dead into living person, when Jesus, he turned the clay into a living bird according to the Quran. So how we can be surprised with Jesus? Jesus can surprise you always, it's not the opposite. But when you use to Jesus, you will know that this is a person who can do everything. But turning the water into wine is more than just turning water into wine. Actually, I remember when I was a kid reading this story, and always, since I was a child, I like to go deep, inside the story. Not just, okay, Jesus, his mother, she asked him to do something, and there is a wedding party, and he used his power to make water into wine. This is more than this. This is way more than this. You see, according to what we know from the Bible, this is the first reported miracle of Jesus. This is the first reported miracle. But obviously, it is not the first miracle. Anyone knows why? Anyone knows why it's not the first miracle? What make me believe that this is not the first miracle? Because when Mary, the mother of Christ, she asked him to do so, did you ask yourself why she is asking him such a request? Why the mother of Jesus, she's asking Jesus for something which is miraculous, unless she knew and she witnessed something about the Messiah? You understand what I'm saying? Like, why my mom shouldn't come to me and says to me to do the same? She will never do that. That would be crazy. Why your mother don't ask you to do the same? Because that's crazy. because she is asking for the impossible, right? So when Mary, she asked Jesus for such a miracle, obviously Mary, she knew for sure that he can do miracles. So she witnessed firsthand how powerful the Messiah is. When the Messiah, he says to her that my time did not come yet, which means my power is not for those things. I'm not here to turn water into wine. But yet, even though it is not his time to do so, he did what Mary, she asked for. And this is why you see the Catholic, they pray asking Mary to pray for them. They don't pray to Mary as God. They pray asking Mary to pray for them. Why? Because Mary, she said, even though he says like, well, this is not my time, then Mary, she said, do as he say. She was sure he will do it. This is why many churches, they believe that if we ask Mary, Mary, she will intercede for us. For me, I don't believe I need to ask Mary, because I can ask Jesus himself, you know. So, but this is their opinion. So do as he say. She was very sure that he will do, and he will not reject her request. But here there is more than this. You see, if we go in the Quran, and this is the ignorance of Shabir Ali, if we go in the Quran, we will find this chapter, chapter 16, verse number 67. In this chapter, the God of the Quran claim that wine is a miracle from Allah. Alcohol is a miracle of Allah. And you see here they are saying strong drink. I don't know what kind of translation this translation. Let us change it. You see how right away things changed. It doesn't say strong drink. It says alcohol. For sure not the word alcohol is used, but you know, that's something will make you drunk. Sakaran, this is the word in Arabic. Let us see different translation. See, so from the fruit and from the date and the grape you make alcohol, will make you drunk, and you from it you to make you drunk, and you made a goodly provision. Verily indeed, this is a sign for people with wisdom. This is a sign from who? This is a sign from Allah, which means it's a miracle from Allah. So if turning grape into wine is a miracle, and Allah is saying that turning a grape into wine is a miracle, I mean, I can do that. You know what I mean? Do you see how silly this argument here? The Quran claim that when you make wine, it's a miracle of Allah. But where is the miracle in making wine from grape? It just is. This is just a like normal process. If you put the wine in a certain place, in a certain heat, you store. I mean, the grape, the juice, is going to turn into a wine, and you do not need to be a genius to do it. It can even happen without doing anything. Just to store the grape in certain, like in a warm place, is going to happen. Close the top of it, and that's it. So the God of the Quran claiming that the wine you have and the alcohol you have is a miracle from Allah. But here we have a question. In different verse in the Quran, it says that wine is from the work of the devil. From what? From the work of shaitan. So how in the other verse it says it's a miracle of Allah, and this verse it is from the shaitan? Do you see how silly this book is? One verse saying that alcohol is a miracle from Allah, the other verse saying it is the work of the devil. If we go, just to show you, I'm not making things up, the interpretation for this verse, chapter 16 verse number 67, I will go to the interpretation done by the scholars of Islam. This is Tafsir al-Jalalain. This is the official government of the Kingdom of Jordan. This is a sign, indicate his power, the exalted be he for the people. Do you see it? This is mentioned, there is a sign, indicate his power. So transforming a grape into wine is an indication of the power of Allah. But hold on, how this verse saying here, this is from the power of Shaitan. So here we notice something very funny, that the Quran contradicts itself very easy. It's very stupid statement. And not only that, later we find that Allah, he promised the Muslims wine in heaven. So how the wine is made by Satan, and yet you are importing Shaitan, a wine made by Shaitan, you take it to heaven? Why he's promising Muslims wine in the heaven? Somebody saying, look at the Christians here, all are evil. My friend, Christians cannot be evil, because even your Quran says the following: look like you are insulting your Quran and you are ignorant like your prophet. I never saw a Muslim, he knows what they're talking about. I mean, he's just trying to insult. Don't insult him back, please. Don't insult him back. He's just a poor kid. How the Christians can be evil when your Quran saying that the Christians are going to go to heaven? If this is true, that's mean the Quran is a stupid book and you are the smart guy. Do you see it? This is a chapter 2 verse number 62. No, you are a kid, because your age is not, doesn't matter. It's what you say will make you mature or not. There's many people at the age of 60, but yet they talk like kid. So you are talking like a kid. Look at the Christians, how evil, what they did to you. Did they kill you? Did they, what they are doing? So you are talking like a kid. So I consider you as a kid, and it's okay, I forgive you. But look with me here. Your God saying the Christians and the Jews and even those who worship the stars, they will go to heaven. And here I challenge the Muslim to tell me how in the world somebody worships stars will go to heaven. At this stage, Muhammad is trying to convince anyone that he is a prophet. Like somebody, let me tell you the stage of Muhammad in this time. Muhammad at this time, he opened a YouTube channel. And in his YouTube channels, he want everybody to subscribe. So he said, it doesn't matter who you are, just subscribe. Christians, you will go to heaven. Jews, subscribe, you will go to heaven. Worship stars, okay, subscribe, you will go to heaven. So Muhammad was desperately looking for subscribers in YouTube. But then when the Christian did not subscribe, neither the Jews, neither the Hindus, neither the Buddhas, neither the Sabian, Muhammad, he started cursing everybody. And this is exactly what happened. Right? Protestant says, my friend, this is not true. Protestant, they have many opinion about the communion, and what you said is not true. However, taking the communion or not will not change the fact if you are a Christian or not. But Jesus clearly says, do this to remember me. So no, not even single Protestant he can say that Jesus did not say, take this to remember me. He broke this bread and he drank that drink, and he says, do this to remember me. So nobody can deny that this is true. It doesn't matter what the church is. So maybe you have some wrong information. And don't try to change my topic out, my friend. Concentrate with me and try to be an adult and mature. So here you notice that the God of the Quran claiming that a changing grape into alcohol is a miracle of Allah. But this is very easy to do. I can do it. That's mean I am God. But in the case of Jesus, he changed the wine from water, not from a grape. The change is not from a grape juice into wine. Like she did not bring to him a grape juice and say make it wine fast, like in a second. No, they brought for him water, just water, and he changed the water into wine. Anyone understand what does that mean? This is way beyond just a changing water into wine. This is not just about a miracle. This is about someone he can change your nature, your structures, your creation, because water and wine there is a huge difference between them. The wine has water inside it, that's true. But the nature of this water is not really the same. Like our body have a lot of water, but the blood is, we cannot say the blood is water. The structure of the blood is not the same as water, even though most of our body is water. Like if you burn somebody, after you burn him from, like, let us say you're 200 kilo, and then after they burn you, if they burn you, some people like the Hindus, they burn, so maybe you will, what is going to be left of you is like 500 gram or 1 kilogram, I'm not sure. Yeah, this is the translation, Aramaic Bible into plain English. You can open it. So here you notice that this miracle about Jesus can change your nature. Many people, they think if we you know, we try to live good, we try to do good, but they ignore something which is very important, that by believing in the Messiah and following the Messiah, he changed you as a changing water into wine. He changed your nature. And this is not only about multiplying, as we see in the story of the fish, which is mentioned in the Quran. There's a chapter in the Quran, it's called the chapter of Al-Ma'idah. In that chapter, where supposedly the Quran copying the story of Jesus, and you see this is the story Al-Ma'idah. The Al-Ma'idah is the table. With the table of who? The table of Jesus. The table of who? The table of Jesus. Now if you read this chapter, you will see how funny it is, because I mean that the chapter is supposedly about Jesus, but look at this. I mean, what is Jesus yet? So Muhammad, he makes things up. The Quran is a shish kebab, hummus, falafel, you know, potato, tomato, you know, I mean, he started talking about eating pigs and eating etc. and blah 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 blah, and then he jumped to Israel, and then he jumped to Jesus. I mean, it's a really crazy book. And then he jumped into Moses, and then you go back to Jesus, and then he jumped to, you know, the Quran is like, with my respect to all people, I love all people, but like sometime you see an old person who be like he start losing his memory and his thinking, and he have a flight of thought. So he suddenly talk about something, and you don't understand what he's trying to say, you know, because simply he is too old to put the information together. So And then look, well, look at this. What is the connection between those verses? There's nothing. There's nothing. You keep going, you keep going, you keep going, you keep reading, trying to find, okay, what are you going to learn? And then he go back to Jesus and okay, what is the knowledge? There's no knowledge. It's a person who talked too much, who drank too much, and is trying to make. All right, I will open Skype. Trying to make a book. Let me open my Skype to see we have a Muslim, which is good. All right. All right, we are in Skype. All right, Mr. Muhammad, you can text me. I did say hi to you. Feel free to call me. So when you read the stories about Jesus, even in the Quran, that the Messiah, if he wants, he can feed thousands of people. This is about the Messiah ability to multiply. According to the Quran, the Messiah, he asked Allah to send him 7 sandwiches, and every sandwich have a wheel. Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Is this Christian Prince?
Yes, we are live on air. Go ahead. What do you like to say, my friend?
Why you always mocking Islam and Allah?
I'm doing what?
You always keep mocking Islam and Allah.
I'm not mocking. Why I'm mocking?
Yeah, you said Islam is false.
Yeah, this is not mocking. This is saying the truth.
How?
Well, prove to me that Islam is not false. Like, okay, you see, we are talking about your God. He sent a table to Jesus, and he sent him 7 wheels. Why Allah sent him 7 wheels for the people to? Why wheels? I mean, what is that? 7 sandwiches. Every sandwich have a wheel.
Hey, just the time of Isa.
I know, but who is the witness for this story? I mean, where Muhammad he got this story that there is 7 sandwiches, each sandwich have a wheel? Where Muhammad he got this story from?
From the angel Jibril.
And who is Jibril? How we know that this is a guy? He is Jibril.
Yeah, he got inspired.
But you just said to me from the angel, what inspired? If Jibril the one who told him, this is not inspiration. Inspiration is, I got something in my